Zilta. Hello, Zoltar. Hello?
Hello.
How you doing?
Hello. I'm doing alright. How are you doing today?
Yeah, not too bad.
That's good. Actually, I have a bit of a mild headache that I took some Tylenol for like 20 minutes ago, so I'm hoping that kicks in before long.
Nice. You should be fine.
We'll see what happens. We had everybody here, and then we lost Zorbaz, so...
Bummer.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I just try and let these things go.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be back in a minute.
Exactly. I'll press go when I'm told to press go, and it'll be fine.
That's it. You can only do what they tell you to do.
Alright, let's make sure the stream is actually functioning the way I think it is. Because I'm not entirely positive that it is right now. Because Twitch is being difficult.
That's Twitch for you.
As Twitch does, indeed. Alright, there we go. Now I can see it. I just don't like to start the stream until we're actually pretty close to starting. That way I don't have to sit here killing time for like 20 minutes.
Oh, I started mine about 45 minutes ago.
That's a bold decision. That's what I'm going to go with. It's a bold decision.
Well, people started moaning, so I turned it off. They didn't like my music or my conversations, so...
Oh, that's fair.
Sodom.
That's fair. I mean, what's Twitch chat for except complaining, let's be honest.
Well, exactly. So they got to look at a picture while they waited.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I should have preloaded a game, because for whatever reason these days, something has changed where if I don't preload a game, I now lag out for like 2 seconds.
Oh.
The first game since I started up Off-World. I don't know what happened there.
That's an odd change at this stage of the proceedings.
Yeah. So now I gotta remember to preload games in the future. It's too late for this one. I'm not gonna do it because we've already got the lobby up. But now let's see. We had Zorbaz. Lost Zorbaz.
He was in Discord. Oh, Philo's called him. There we go. Oh, he's watching Doctor Strange the movie, he says.
Yeah, I had seen that.
Oh, there he is. He's typing in Discord. He's in A already. No, he's not. No, you're not.
He was in A and then he left.
Yes. Let's see, you tell him, Zoltar. Oh, there he is.
Ah, now he's back. Excellent.
I'm going to call him Zorba for this game. Oh, God. Stop posting your Twitch code. People will steal your stream. Oh, back again.
I'm so confused. Look, I'm really tempted just to press the button right now.
Press it now.
Just trying to wait for the go. Oh, look, Philothenix said everyone good to go. I don't know if that was a question or a statement. I'm going to assume it was a statement.
I think he kicked, Oh, Group C is go, he says. It's his rainbow ideology, so let's do it. Yeah. Oh, he left the line. I hope he left to go in game and not disappeared.
I think so. Because I didn't see it. Come on, Offworld, you can do it. I believe.
It looks like everybody's here.
Alright, hello everyone and welcome to round 1 of our January 28th free-for-all series tournament. Today we've got Polina, Subak, Zorbaz, and Adderfield competing. Once again, as with the rest of the tournaments, we've got group stage for 4 rounds, and then finals for the 5th round, so we'll be rotating players in and out. And today, though, I'm once again joined by King Morgan.
Hello, Ziltar. Hello, viewers.
Hello, everybody, indeed. This looks like a really generous series.
I was just thinking that. An easy start for the players.
And you could even go scavenger on this map. Like, you might have to upgrade Carbon a little later, but you've got the double highs up there. It's a really nice early game boost. It's right next to aluminum. My big concern for it is water. There's like...
You need...
like 2 or 3 good water patches? I don't even know.
Yeah, I think a lot of players are going to be on ice later on. What with the resources dropping off and everything, although I don't think I've ever seen so much water on a series map.
Yeah, it's just, there's so much water on the series map. There's actually usable carbon. Silicon is going to be the big concern here. There are no nukes, though. So, hopefully somebody will get a hold of that silicon. I imagine that's going to be really, really important moving forward this game.
I would think so, yeah. Water is going to be crucial for everybody. Although Polina moves 3 steel mills, couple of steels, aluminium. Nice traditional start. Taking the I like that. Taking the slant drilling option on the water found. I like that.
Oh yeah.
Much prefer to see that on like an unclaimed water tile. Just go next to a vacant high tile or whatever, and there's no nukes here anyway, so possibly irrelevant.
Yeah, no nukes. Always kind of reassuring on Ceres. Ceres always terrifies me when there's nukes available because every single tile is going to be a vulnerable target.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. And Ceres is so tight. I think you've got one little error and it messes you up. So you've got to be so careful. You've got to really optimise your claims and your resources so much compared to Mars, anyway. And Zorba taking us high silicon. Seems an odd move with silicon at $2.
I mean, it does, but on the other hand, as we discussed earlier, Silicon is not looking easy this game. And so if you think you've got the extra claim, maybe you can make it work. It could be really, really useful late in the game. On top of that, Zorbaz already has actually pretty decent production, given that he's gone into this food already, so maybe he thinks he can afford that current deficit that he's going to be running in exchange for the long-term benefits.
Yeah, stack it up, I suppose, early. I mean, glass, I'm sure, will go sky high at some point, especially if there's not enough silicon on the map.
Poor pirate placement from 2 back there. It'll still be effective, but it looks like what he's after is the aluminum. That's all he's going to catch from Polina, and that's great, but there was the opportunity to actually put those pirates at a point where 2 aluminum shipments converged and really start raking in the money fast, so would have liked to see that instead.
It would have definitely been a better move, wouldn't it? He could have quite nicely stolen 2 lots of aluminium, as you say.
The shipments might actually be a little close together, so, there's an argument to be made on whether or not it matters. On the other hand, I would really like to see a mutiny, maybe, instead of pirates. Mutiny is just worth so much aluminum.
Yeah.
Always fun to see, and in fact we do see one now onto Zorba's aluminum patch.
Which kind of sorts out the pirates issue there, doesn't it? So he's got 2 bites of the cherry now.
Oh, that is amusing. But yeah, one thing to keep in mind is a mutiny on an aluminum mine is 240 aluminum, as opposed to the pirates, which are 100. And as with the pirates, it's directly stealing the resource from your opponent. So always something to consider early in the game. The only downside is the additional fuel cost that you have to worry about.
Everybody's upgrading pretty quickly here. Usually I'd expect the scavenger or perhaps the robotic to be slightly ahead of everybody, but everybody's pretty equal at the moment.
Yeah, the expansives are keeping up really well. I have to imagine that Polina, using this aluminum mutiny in particular, that's helping accelerate things quite a bit. And also, there was the decision not to get into food quickly for Polina, which has the downside of, well, you're not making a valuable resource. On the other hand, those farms cost glass, and glass is not easy at the moment to obtain. So you can see the trade-offs there really coming into play.
Yeah, but I mean, really, I mean, unless you're in power, power's really the market to be in at the moment. A lot
It
of
is.
competition for food. Everybody seems to have food down. Well, apart from the robotic, of course, he's going power. Which pretty good choice. I mean, given the price of power, there's only really a Dora field there that's
This is
seriously.
hilarious from Polina. Are you seeing the holograms with the green squads? I don't even know what to say about that. That's just funny to me.
That's
I mean,
quite.
it works.
The black market is on.
It does make that farm a bit questionable, though.
Yeah, quite interesting.
Oh, we scrapped out of the nuclear plant. It looks like that's interesting. What are we swapping into?
Back
Another
into a
nuclear
farm.
plant. I think that might have just been a straight mistake.
Is it? Oh, okay. Yep. Going into the powers. He probably hasn't got very much. He's got a bit of cash hanging around.
Oh, but Tubac looks like he's going to be the one making actual money off of this for the moment. Atterfield's not quite there yet to make money off the power, but for Tubac, these tiles are going to be fantastic, and he's going to be the first one to hit HQ level 4, it looks like.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, he's done it right, hasn't he? He's gone into lots of steel, get his upgrade path sorted out, bit of power there, make some money.
Absolutely, and plenty of uranium as well. Really nice to identify those uranium iron tiles. Those are super, super valuable.
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
series.
That's it. Any tile with a dual use has got to be a good tile to take, I think.
Absolutely, and it's so much more valuable on Ceres than it is on Mars even, right? Because resources only diminish to that low quality, and so those low tiles are just going to be perpetually high tiles throughout the game, effectively producing a high tile value of resources with no diminishing returns throughout the game.
That's it.
Always really important.
Oh, definitely. Well, you've really got to use your claims wisely and optimize absolutely everything.
Speaking of optimizing, we've got a nice little optimization center land tile auction, so we'll have to see who values this the most, who thinks they can use it best. Obviously, our upgrades are starting to kind of sort themselves out with our robot and our scavenger up at 4, the expansive still down at 3.
Yeah, I mean 10. I would probably take 20 odd K for this tile, I would imagine. Because I mean, there's no claims available, so.
Yeah, I did find it interesting though that it was our expansive players mostly being the ones to fight over this. Tubac got in one little bid, but that was it. So Polina's ended up taking it for 20. Not sure how I feel about that. Really think that the scavenger and the robot could have valued that a bit more.
She's going to have to watch the debts. I mean, power's dropping off now, so it's going to be difficult. But straight
Also
away,
worth noting that was an auction, black market
rather than a purchased auction.
or was it? There has been an auction tile purchased. I think that was that one. I always forget on Ceres what the time is, guys. We don't play this map enough.
It doesn't say in the chat. It was.
I'm just gonna blame the UI for being difficult and move on.
Yeah, it was time for an
Could be my
auction though.
excuse.
It was an auction time, I think. So probably a standard auction there. So is somebody sitting on that buy a tile then, or auction a tile? Somebody must be sitting on that. Let's see.
That's been used.
It has been used, hasn't it? And we've only had one auction, haven't we? That must have been, yeah, somebody must have played that then.
Alright, well, aluminum is still insanely valuable, and mutinies are down at 4.5k, which is getting a little frustrating for me, but we'll see what happens with it. Silicon up to 46, it's starting to get relevant. Zorbaz, though, just has some solar panels down on all this silicon he's managed to grab up. Ooh, Atterfield with the long shipments. That's got to be getting really pricey in fuel.
Yeah.
Just losing cash on that pretty much straight out.
Considering the price of fuel, yeah, he's definitely needs to look at maybe teleportation.
Yeah, teleportation, or just turn the thing off for now. I mean, the big deal about this to me is that Atterfield is making fuel. If he wasn't making fuel, I could kind of forgive this, because he's just gaining more debt. We'll see what kind of advantage he can get. But right now, he's actually just straight up losing money on that silicon tile, because he has to pay down that fuel debt first. before he can sell down all this fuel that he's making.
Well, it's-
Come on, Atterfield, you want this.
He's costing him $81 in fuel, and he's making 110 off the tile. So
Oh, that's adjusted pretty quickly. Fuel just dropped down significantly. Might have been
Yeah.
onto a stockpile there. Because fuel just crashed out. It was up near 200 a moment ago.
teleportation. I'm surprised that's better. I was going to say 16, 14k is cheap. On this map, you want to. Wow, that's cheap. Nope, didn't go.
Right, good. The thing is, it's a little bit less valuable for Tubac than it is for all the rest of our players because he's already HQ5. There's no more claims to purchase. He's kind of made his decisions, and he can't make extra ones based on obtaining teleportation easily. He's going to get it anyway.
He doesn't need it. He's got nothing being shipped at all.
Yeah, he does have 3 claims left, so this might open up some additional options for him. Maybe he'll consider, for example, going into a patent lab, trying to pick up slant drilling, saving these claims for a moment. There are things that are available to him now, but we'll see what he chooses to do with it.
Well, Paulina there needs to. There we go. Defended herself. There's a nice little push by Zorba there.
Yeah, really putting Polina in a bad spot. Polina just kind of stopped making money at HQ3, and that's more or less what we were concerned about with the nuclear plants. There was this strange scrap, and then the rebuild, the farm's not making any money. Just a lot of struggling going on over here.
I think it was panicking. I mean, the price of power was obscene. She was in a large amount of debt, so it's pretty natural to move into those power producing tiles, but really messed her up, unfortunately. She's going to be very much struggling now.
Yeah, she should be, well, no aluminum stocked up, and so that is going to be the difficulty. There's another mutiny onto some aluminum, so that's probably going to help, but unfortunately just far behind. I kind of wonder if there was too much. I think that the optimization center is what did it. Taking the tile was fine. Actually building the optimization center absolutely was not, and then starting to use it, because we just see that there are not enough benefits coming from this thing in order to help with the fact that you're back at HQ3, 2 other people are at 5, and your other expansives at 4, pushing to 5 or to a buy right now.
Yeah, that's it. You've got to be so careful. HQ2, HQ3. If you don't set yourself up right, you're in big trouble. And I think that's Zorba gone. I can't see any situation where he's not gone.
No, Atterfield's got the cash on hand. 5 more seconds and Zorbas is going to be knocked out of the game. Got to be careful when you're upgrading that HQ level.
That's it.
People will take you down.
Oh yeah, that's a perfect opportunity, isn't it? You're tight for cash. Other people have got a lot of cash available, so Paulina pushing into a Dorafield. Well, I can't imagine that he's going to be worried about that. The buy is there.
It depends on how interested Tubac is in cleaning things up, because Polina's being very aggressive about this, selling out of her own stock in order to try and make this happen. If Tubac does the same, Atterfield could be in some trouble.
Yeah, Tubac is definitely. Well, he's got a hacker array up, so I guess he's looking for a longer term thing. But I mean, if he's got a little bit of cash there, he's making some good money on his food. I mean, could push. I mean, I'd certainly like to see him take a Dorafield out.
Absolutely, and the thing about that is, like, if those two gang up on Atterfield, suddenly you're in this position where, alright, well, you've kind of, like, split stock between these 2 players, but you're at HQ5 with no debt, and your opponent is at HQ3 at D bond rating.
Yeah.
And it's just an easy victory from there.
That's it. I mean,
I do not like this decision from Tubac.
I would be jumping on that like a shot. I mean, a Dorafield for Tubac is his main competition. Get rid of him. Get him out of here.
Yeah, exactly. Just knock him down.
But he's not. That's a massive opportunity, which he's just not taking. That's a big mistake. He's pushing into. Oh, come on. That's.
Try and knock Polina down now. I mean, it's not the end of the world, right? But you're not going to get to the majority. Now Atterfield's helping out.
It's not. I don't agree. He should have. Tubac should have taken his chance and knocked Atterfield out because he had it. It was there for the taking.
Yeah, all he had to do was sell down his own stock, and he definitely would have gotten there, no question. So I don't like that decision, but we'll see how it plays out from here. I would be concerned though because Atterfield, I mean, he's got 6 in Zorbaz. Zorbaz is not making a small amount of money. I mean, this is good cash flowing in for him.
Well, 600
166.
60 a second. 600 a second is, at this stage of the game, is pretty powerful. I'd take that any day.
Yeah, I'd be tempted just to keep investing in him rather than try and upgrade his Atterfield right now. Just aluminum's still really pricey, glass is expensive, steel is expensive. That upgrade's hard to get, but it's easy to acquire that little bit of extra stock. An extra 100 a second from buying that. Incredibly tempting to go ahead and do.
Oh god, yeah. But he's decided he's going to juggle claims around. I don't know. I think
Engineers have advanced our production.
And what is
he's
it, 5 more minutes for each unit of stock to pay off, I think, right now, if you buy in Zorbaz? And that's not even counting the stock price increase.
well, exactly. Well, we'll see. I mean, who are we looking at? Paulina's still got 2 claims, which she's not doing anything with.
It's good to get to that upgrade, but yeah, you gotta go ahead and use the claims to go with it.
Well, that's
It's a
it.
cute little play with these nuclear plants, but man, it did not work out.
No, not at all. You should have just really cut your losses there, shouldn't you? Cut your losses and say, well, I'm going to suffer from power, and just push on through to HQ 3 or 4. HQ 4, I think it was. Which you should have pushed to, but... well, that's Ceres for you. It's tricky.
Unforgiving.
It is very unforgiving. And Field there managed to get his upgrades.
Alright. See how it goes for him. I mean, there's a lot of valuable stuff to be making right now. Chems in particular looking really nice. Glass seems okay. Power is fantastic.
Yeah, electronics are looking tasty. Very, very tasty.
Absolutely.
But, Tubak's gone heavily into water.
Is available for option.
Which, given the price and the fact, well, I suppose he sold it down, but time to rotate those, I think.
Yeah, I don't honestly mind it all that much at the moment. I mean, he has a 1,000 unit stockpile. That might be a bit excessive. The only thing I can say in favor of it is that there is a solar flare going on right now, so maybe developing a large stockpile isn't that bad of an idea, especially with the hacker array available. You could maybe start getting tricky in a couple minutes based on this ridiculous water stockpile from the solar flare.
Yeah, but he needs to get out of that food, needs to get out of those, into electronics, I would say. Although,
Possibly. Electronics are just so tricky right now, though, because the thing that's really going to be dragging you down is that $100 aluminum price. I mean, it's starting to look better and better as time goes on, and Zorbaz's subsidiary keeps selling down that carbon, but he still seems dangerous.
yeah, I mean, he's short in power, but I don't really know how well that's going to go for him. Oh,
Well, he is making money from the power, so that's something at least, and
he's put a couple of dynamite down, knock out his opponent's power. So he will be the only one raking it in at the moment.
it is a strange decision to me to be trying to knock down Atterfield's power in particular while attempting to buy on Polina. You'd think that what you want to do is drive Polina deeper and deeper into debt as much as possible to finish up this buy, and then get to turn your attention on Atterfield, who seems to be struggling just a little bit right now, but
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
I mean, I wouldn't say write Polina off, but I probably wouldn't be too worried about Polina as I owned a lot of her stock. In Tubak's shoes, I'd be going for Atterfield. I mean,
I wouldn't be
Atterfield's...
worried about it. It's just the idea of getting to that subsidiary purchase even faster.
Yeah,
By forcing more and more debt. That's the goal.
I mean, Atterfield's in a good position now. He's bought up all of Zorba. He's making $1,400 a second off him.
Yeah, I'm glad we saw the Zorbas purchase happen eventually. Took a little longer than I'd have liked, but that's all right.
Yeah,
All right, decent power surge.
that
Got-
was
got as far
effective.
as it could.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
It was pretty good. I mean, the thing that you would have preferred to see is for it to snake down into the nuclear plants rather than the steel mills, right? Because steel mills are really nothing special right now,
No.
especially considering that high power price, but it's not bad.
Yep.
All right, silicon surplus, that just keeps things weird.
Ugh.
I don't even know what to say about it.
No, it's not really gonna... I mean, it might do Arderfield alright because he's using silicon, but... There we go. Tubak takes out Polina.
2 more claims for him. I'll have to see what he does with them.
I can imagine they'd be useful claims. I mean, realistically, he's got to get into something like electronics again. If he'd moved into electronics a while back, he'd be sitting pretty. But labs, he needs to get into some labs if he can get it. Well, carbon's cheap enough, but he's not. He's staying in the food.
Prepare for pending market adjustments to
Ooh.
black
And just
market
focusing on those
is
water-based
open
resources. Lots of food, lots of reactors, some power. Really surprised we haven't seen more chems come out of these guys yet. Fuel under 100, carbon down at 50. And on
Yeah.
top of that, we do have optimization centers running.
Additional to that, why don't we see some electronics plants?
Well, yeah.
Look at the price. I haven't seen electronics at that price for 18 months.
I think I have, but you know, it was on Ceres once again. So food up above 300. I mean, food definitely working out for now. Not a bad resource by any measure. And especially if you've got the food upgrades, it can work out okay. I am a bit concerned that Tubac has had this optimization center for a while. I feel like he might have gone maybe a bit too deep in power. Hasn't really spread around those techs yet.
No.
And only got 5 of them so far. You can see that this optimization center is currently sitting idle, and just every moment that's happening feels bad. But
Oh, yeah.
Chem's up at 400, it's almost excusable. I don't know. Would have liked to just see some chem upgrades. Adderfield going for the off-world.
Auction unclaimed.
Wow. Well,
Halfway done, we'll see what happens. Off-world, always a questionable decision on Ceres. I definitely hate it right now.
I can't see
Market
any reason to put an off-world in at the moment, I'll be honest.
I can't either. And the biggest thing about it to me is that no matter anything else that's happening right now, ignoring every single rest of the bit of the game, your opponent has open stock. Open stock hasn't been purchased yet. Get it now before it doubles in price.
Yeah.
Is a pretty good reason to not have built that off-world market. It is going to take, at its current profits, I think it's going to take about 7 minutes in total for that off-world to pay itself back. Maybe.
That's 7 minutes he hasn't got.
Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't have any time right now. There's open stock on the market.
Mm.
You have literally zero time. And the off-road market is just inexcusable to me. But we'll see what happens.
Buy that stock up. These... I don't know. I don't know whether I like Tubac for this or whether Adderfield's going to scrape it.
Well, Tubec's got a pretty significant lead right now in a lot of ways. It's just a small stock edge with that 1 unit in Polina on over to Zorbaz. He'll be making a bit more from the subsidiaries, pretty substantially more from the subsidiaries right now. That's his edge at the moment. But Tubac has the cash. We'll see how it plays out.
Well, he's making double, maybe double and a half over in subsidiary money, so... I mean, I'm surprised Adora Fields wasn't a... If he'd have got to HQ5 earlier, then I think he might have been able to clean this game up a lot quicker.
Yeah, it's still looking like he might pull it off now, especially with these nice EMPs on Tubac. Tubac's been forced to group his buildings up pretty heavily by his found location. Lots of cliffs and craters near him.
Yeah, he is susceptible quite heavily to EMPs, which are 30k's, well, reasonably priced. I mean, you get a couple of those in the right place, and, well, it may be enough to swing it. Dorafield with 4 foot there. They're about balanced on the cash, and they're about balanced. This is going to be a very close one.
I think Adderfield's going to take it. He's just making more money right now. I definitely want to see these optimization centers no longer functional. It concerns me that Adderfield has so much cash wrapped up into these right now because the game is not going to last long enough for that water optimization in particular to pay for itself. I mean, we are looking at... Let's go ahead and check. Yeah, that's the 3rd unit of water optimization. We're talking 60 chems for that guy. Just can't go back.
Yeah, and it's a minute as well before you get any benefit. You might as well spend it on an EMP or something.
Absolutely. Much better as an EMP. Much better as just cold hard cash right now.
Yeah.
Definitely concerned about the fact those are still operational.
I think, well, he's got a couple of percentages over Tubac. I mean, it may come
If he
down.
loses this game, it's because of the off-road market. I'm just throwing that out there.
I think you're right, absolutely right. Well, if Tubac loses, it's because he did not buy up Adora Field when he had the chance with Polina earlier. I mean, that would have been that would be easy Easy
So
game.
close. Tubak's almost there. He's trying to use his hacker ray. Tubak's got the 100%.
Wow.
Gonna take the
Adorafield's,
game.
I think, at 100% as well.
That off-world is not a hologram.
No, it's not, unfortunately. Well, I think we summed up that game, haven't we?
Yeah. Off-world market, I think it killed him. I honestly think he died because of that. The off-world market combined with pushing the optimization centers too far. You always got to realize when the long-term investments are no longer going to pay off because there just isn't enough time left in the game.
Yeah.
It'll kill you.
Yeah, there's quite a few. I mean, I didn't like the way Adorafield didn't... Well, he got into electronics eventually, but... I mean, if you could get a couple of upgrades in electronics, put four tiles of electronics down, he'd have been rolling in the cash. And neither of these players either went into chems when chems would, because if you get a couple of upgrades in chems as well, you're producing 4.5, 5 chems a second, which at $400, $350, you're just rolling in cash then. But
Absolutely. The other big thing about it to me initially was that Adderfield was the one with the scavenger subsidiary, and so driving up carbon for him, really not that bad a deal, because he's just making money on both ends at that point. Like, his subsidiary will be selling down carbon eventually, pulling in extra cash from that, while Adderfield drives up the price, producing electronics and chems. Really would have liked to see a bigger push that direction, instead of just playing with the life support.
yeah, I think both of Tubac and Adorafield were stuck in life support for a little bit too long.
Mm-hmm.
I would have definitely liked to see a little bit more rotation there.
This subsidiary chem refinery is just amusing me at the colony, though. Like, nope, no more optimization center.
Black markets, well, Arsh's rival Tubac was very generous with his black markets. He chucked them all down on Adorafield.
That almost certainly made his game, too. I mean, there were a lot of pirates, and we discussed that the pirates looked like a poor decision, and I still agree with that. I think the mutinies were just playing better. The only downside to the mutiny is it can be countered by another mutiny or a power surge, anything like that. But the payoff is so big that it's really hard not to use it. But afterward, just constant power surges and EMPs, that's a big deal.
That swung it just enough, I think, to give Tubac the time he needed. If Adorafield had played it slightly different, he may have just been able to eke it out and pull the win in there, but like you say, the slowly upgrading to HQ5 and then going for that off-world markets. That's what stopped it, because he was making so much money off his subsidiary. He was in a fantastic position at one point, and a terrible position at one point. So,
Yeah.
you know,
There were just a few things that Adderfield probably could have done differently to find enough of an edge to take it, but I still maintain the absolute biggest thing was just not building that off-world market.
Yeah, very, very rare that you'll ever see a situation where you need an off-world market on Ceres. The on-world prices are so good that an optimization center or hacker array are far superior to the off-world market.
Absolutely.
I mean, can we
Alright.
see? He sold 80k off-world. I mean,
For his
80k.
$150,000 off-world.
Yeah, an 80k payback is ridiculous. I mean, you'd expect to get that off one tile of something good.
Yeah, and I don't think that's even profit. I think that's just...
It's just revenue. It's
that's
not
gross
profit.
rather than net.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be heavily minus if it was. Well, there we go.
Ugh.
Should we move on to the next?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Okay.
That off-world market just made me sad.
Understandable.
Pop up another one. Now, we do have to wait for everybody else to be done, I believe.
Okay. Well, that gives me a... Oh, are you saving replays?
Well, yeah.
Okay,
I
excellent.
mean, they automatically save up to 5, so...
Oh, right, excellent.